guys, what's up? Welcome back to another Planty video. My name is Shannon and this is Planted 386. If this is your first time, hello, hi, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate your support and I hope you will consider subscribing and sticking around, being a part of the family. And if you are returning, thank you so much for being here. I look forward to chatting with you guys week after week in the comments down below. You can also find me on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, although I post most frequently over on TikTok. I'm just being honest. So if you are obsessed with Planty content like I am, come and give me a follow over there. This week we are continuing on our 2025 houseplant journey with part 2. And so if you missed last week, I will try to link the video in the description box down below. But if you were here last week and you are excited to move forward, we are going to be covering the remainder of the plants in the house today. I decided to break this into parts just because I felt like it would be easier for you and for me. So yeah, I think we're going to have 2 more parts remaining. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. It's the little notification bell. But yeah, guys, I'm so excited to get into it. Everything is always growing and changing and evolving around here, so it's a great way for me to share my collection with you guys, and I just look forward to it. So yeah, without further ado, enough rambling, let's get into it. Okay guys, so we are gonna start right here where we left off from last time with this girl, which is my Antherum vitarifolium. She is large and in charge, as you can see. It's kind of hard to get her in the frame entirely, if I'm being honest, but if you've been around, you know this is one of my favorite plants. This is her most recent leaf, and she's kind of just like all the way down to the end of this cabinet, honestly. I really have no intention on cutting her or chopping her. She is currently producing these 2 inflows, so I was kind of hoping to maybe breed. We shall see. But yeah, that's kind of where she stands at this moment. Behind it, I have another really cool plant. It's a weirdo, but one of my faves. This is a Cissus quadrangularis. And I just kind of have her tucked back here in this corner, but yeah, she's really cool. It's got these like grapevine leaves. I've shown her a few times on the channel. Really easy to propagate, and overall just a fun one. I kind of wish I had a better spot for her, somewhere where she could be seen a little bit more, but she seems to really like this spot, and it's just kind of what I have available. As for getting in this cabinet, it's a little tricky. I have to move a couple things around, and then we'll kind of get in here and I'll show you what's going on in the Blaliden cabinet. Okay, coming in here, this is, I don't know guys, this is just kind of like a miscellaneous cabinet. I could definitely do more with this, but I guess because my vitarifolium takes up so much space in the front, it's just a little tricky like getting in and out of here. So what I have realized is that this lighting is wonderful for like Hoya, cacti, succulents. So I have my lithops in here. I don't know exactly like what species these are, but I've always really been into lithops. And so yeah, last year I tried growing them and they did not make it. So I tried again at the beginning of spring. I've only had these guys for, I don't know, maybe 4 months now, and so far so good. I just water them very infrequently. Back here is just a Nova Ghost cutting. I've been taking some props of my Nova Ghost. This is a snowman cactus, which he's looking a little mushy if I'm being honest, but he did put out this little guy here, so I don't know. He's kind of strange, but he's really cute. Worst case scenario, I will try to propagate this. Back here is just again another Hoya Nova Ghost cutting, and then this is my Frizzle Sizzle. John and I picked this out at EFG, which is one of our favorite little local growers. And actually, I had this over in the Cactus Window. We'll get to that in a minute. But it was completely drooped over. And I couldn't understand why. We've been getting a lot of rain down here, and it's been very kind of dreary out, not a ton of light coming through that window. So I did a little bit of research, and it seems as though this plant loves really, really bright light. So I'm just thinking that it wasn't getting enough light because it's been dreary. So I moved it in here and it's perked right back up, but I just think this is such a cool plant, you guys. Look at those cute little curls. I will have to figure out something soon because it's already touching the light. But yeah, he's fun. I really like him. And then if we move down here, I just have some of my little Antherum seedlings cooking. This is a Polynura cutting that I honestly just need to part ways with. It's just not working out. And then down here I have an Antherum Doriaki, which again, she's not doing terrible, but I feel like she could be doing better. I find this Antherum to be a bit challenging to grow. And like I said, I could do this obviously didn't make it. This was a offset from the Doriaki. You know what, we'll just take that out. So yeah, like I said, I could do so much more with this cabinet, and I do plan to do that. I'm just kind of like, I don't know, it's in the works. We do have a couple little crystals here. What do we got? I don't even know what this is, if I'm being honest. This is a little clay bird that I made. I enjoy working with air dry clay. So yeah, there's not a ton to look at. This is a terrarium that I did so long ago. It needs to be torn apart. Like, there's really not much to see here, guys. So we'll just keep it moving. And then moving towards the Milsbo wide, this is what you guys often see in the videos. So let's get into it. This is my one of two Antherum titanium crossed fingers. So they call it Titan's fingers. This is an EFG cross. I love these leaves, and I finally got this one to give me a new leaf. Look how big that is. It's so big. But if I give you a nice like look, it just looks so cool right here, I think, anyways. So yeah, that's her. And then in here, this is just a little vessel that I have just like some miscellaneous cuttings in. There's some Christmas cactus. There's like a little orchid in there. This is my Hoya Carnosa petiolata Super Splash. I did just recently take a couple cuttings of her. And I'm just kind of experimenting with propagation. She's kind of interesting in that it seems like, I don't know, she seems to be a bit slower to grow, but I don't have her in the highest of light, so that's probably partly why. And then another crystal or two. This is a cute little picture that I got from St. Augustine from a little shop. It's a very special place to John and I. And then these are the cuttings that I took from that, oh gosh, what was it? That pothos that I showed you in the last video, or no, was it it was my favorites video a couple videos back. She had like an all green strand, and I just went ahead and chopped it off, and they're just propagating in water, honestly. Next to that is this is that little inch plant. I showed this to you guys in the last video. It's just been moved over here. I'm currently trying to decide what to do with it. I think I'm actually just gonna propagate it and put it into water. So for now, it's just kind of sitting there until I figure that out. Next to that is another crystal and my Hoya Matild Splash. This I got from a plant swap not so long ago. It was wrapping around this trellis, but I just took some cuts of it. I just want to see what becomes of this. I really don't want to grow it in the semi-hydro, so I took a bunch of cuttings. This is the mother plant, what's remaining. Depending on how well those cuttings do, I will probably just finish chopping this up and just move everything to soil. This is a little bit of a mess right here. Just some random miscellaneous things, another pot of dirt. This is just a Syngonium elbow cutting that I took not so long ago. This is my Hoya gracilis or gracilis, and this is such an easygoing Hoya. This has been nothing but a joy, if I'm being honest. So easy. Yeah, and I really love her elongated sort of splashy leaves. So yeah, she's been fun to grow. I took a couple cuts just to kind of play with propagating, and so far so good. This is a bronze statue that John picked up, I don't know, this has been a few years ago now, and I just love her so much. She hangs out here in the Planty corner. I don't know, she's so cute. This is where I keep a lot of my little picks and just little planty supplies in there, shears. And then this is my Thai constellation, guys. This is her. She has grown so much in the last couple years that I've had her. I did recently repot her out of terracotta and into this pot, and what I've realized is she seems to prefer to crawl. And I'm hearing that a lot about Thai constellation. So once I took her out of that upright pot and I gave her a little bit of a wider pot, she started to really take off. So she gave me this leaf not so long ago, maybe a month and a half ago or so. And then now it looks like she's about to give me another one. So exciting. But yeah, I love her. I got her back when these were still pretty pricey, and John actually got her for me. So yeah, super grateful to have her. She's in the back of every single video, and yeah, I just love her. Okay guys, moving down into the Milsbo wide. This is the cabinet that you guys see behind me in every video. And let's start back here. We're gonna have to like be sneaky about how we get in here, but this is my Antherum podophyllum right here, her newest leaf. Super cute. This has expanded quite a bit over the last week or so, but I am excited to finally be seeing some pretty solid growth on her. It's been a little bit of a journey. I feel like she's a bit slower to grow than some of my other Anthuriums, but I'm excited to hopefully have a big one day, and hopefully I'll be able to breed with her. That's kind of the goal, you know? And then down here, these are just all pups from my Clarinervium cross Bintang Kajori. So this is one of them, which honestly not looking so great. And then this is another one right there in that little solo cup. And then this is just some Wyetii cuttings down here. And then another little Bintang Kajori cutting or pup. So this plant basically, it produced probably, I don't know, you guys, 6 pups or so, and I haven't fully decided yet which one I'm going to keep as my main mother plant. This one here is looking really good though, and I'm very interested to see what this looks like grown up a bit, because I saw a photo of it off the website when I purchased it, and I was like, oh my gosh, so cool. I love Clarinervium crosses. I, to be honest, could have one of every Clarinervium cross and be living my best life. But anyway, this big girl here, which she is quickly outgrowing this cabinet, honestly, I'm gonna have to find a spot for her. But this is my SKG Crystal Silver cross Bessier Af, another one that loves to pup out for me. And she's also a wild bloomer. I did try to pollinate her, and I'm just kind of waiting to see what happens with that. I don't even remember honestly what I bred her with, if I'm being honest. But this is a new leaf coming in, and this is her newest leaf over here. Let's see. There you go, guys. I mean, she's huge. Large, in charge, gorgeous. Her emergents are absolutely beautiful. And I do need to do a little bit of trimming on her. There's some leaves that need to go, but yeah, she's quickly outgrowing this cabinet. This is another Doriaki that didn't do so hot in the separation, but there is a little bit of green. So I'm hopeful that we'll get something. And then this is my Black Crystal Cross Re-Gardens Pappy. She's looking real good. Got a new leaf coming. I obviously need to trim this leaf here. I didn't do any trimming of leaves or anything before doing this because I just wanted you guys to see, like, you know, this is what's realistic. But that is her newest leaf coming in. I love how dark she is, and this is one that I got from Haley at Blue Moon. Back there is some Lacunosa cuttings. I don't know how well, it's very hard for me to film in here because I'm trying to hold up leaves and get you guys close-ups, but yeah, that's just some Lacunosa cuttings. Behind it is another Doriaki offset, and then this over here is what I had intended to be my Bintang parent plant. So I think this is the one that I'm going to keep as mine. But yes, I love this plant. I'm so excited to see where this goes. Over there is my Parasitica Black Margin, just looking absolutely amazing. I love this Hoya so much. Just how big her leaves are getting and how waxy she is. I had her in a favorites video. I want to say it was last month, if I'm being honest, and yeah, I'm so glad. She's just so cool. She's really coming into herself, you know, coming into her own. And then down here are the little Antherum seedlings, guys. So this one is Antherum Jungle Giant, crossed with I don't know, because this one was living outside, and so the lizards actually pollinated it. So I have no idea. The mother plant is Jungle Giant, and I have no idea what is going on in there. And then over here are my Crystal Red Michelle Cross Ace Crystal Red Cross Silver Blush babies. What a mouthful. But yeah, these have really exploded in the last week or so, I have to be honest. I did something a little differently. Let me just shut this so I'm not at that weird angle anymore. I did something different when it came to these seedlings. So if you can notice, these are in Fluval and these are in Sphagnum. And while it took a bit longer for these to start and take off, I think that they are actually, I feel like they're moving much quicker than these. So that's just something to note. I was out of Sphagnum when I harvested this infructescence, and so all I had was Fluval lying around. So it was just kind of like an experiment by default. And I don't know, maybe I need to start using Fluval when it comes to seedlings, because those are looking really, really good. So yeah, we have some exciting seedlings in the works. Very excited about it. Okay, so moving over here, this is what I call the cactus window, because it's where I have a lot of like my Solace. I have some Hoya, just like plants that love bright, bright light, because this window gets all of the afternoon sun. And out there, sneak peek of part 4, but just some garden stuff that we have going on outside the window. But anyway, this is my Monstera aurea. And she is getting so big now, guys. I got her as a 3-leaf cutting, and I am like, I'm gonna have to chop her because she is just getting crazy. That's her newest leaf coming out. This one is a fun one because you never know what you're gonna get for variegation until the leaf fully hardens off, because it is Polaroid variegation. So she has the craziest, look at these aerial roots she puts out. Absolutely insane. Totally insane. But yeah, I really like her. She's been nothing but a breeze to grow, and so yeah, that is her. Down here is my Black Pagoda lipstick plant. We just featured her in a video, like, I don't know, maybe a couple weeks ago. I started a How to Grow series, and this was episode 1, How to Grow Black Pagoda Lipstick Plant. And last week, I uploaded part 2 in the series, which is How to Grow Skindapsis exotica, which will be coming to her in just a moment. But yes, this has been such an easy one. I talked about it quite a bit, obviously, in that video, so I'm not going to go on too long with it, but just a really cool plant, a really common one, and yeah, I just love her colors. She's so cool. Back here is my Hoya Queen Quinervia. It's going to be a bit hard to see her, but yeah, she's just living back there. I actually need to pull her out and check on her because I did take some cuttings not that long ago. She's another one that's growing in semi-hydro, and I've decided I'd like to just grow her in soil. So yeah, in the meantime, I'm just kind of, you know, it is what it is. I'm just kind of waiting to see what happens. I do see a little piece of new growth right here, so that's exciting. I do find that when your Hoyas become stagnant, if you propagate them, usually that will spur on new growth. This is just a random cactus, guys. I honestly don't know the name of it, but it's just like your traditional cactus that you find at, you know, Lowe's, Home Depot, whatever. You can see she's about to bloom for us again. She really seems to be happy in this spot, and her little flowers are just the cutest. I've posted them, I think on TikTok is where I posted the photo of this little flower, but it's the cutest pink flower. It's actually way bigger than the cactus, and it sticks around usually for about a week at a time, so just a delight. This here is, I know it's kind of hard to like see everything individually because it's all kind of crammed in here. If you know how it goes, guys, you know how it goes. But this is my Hoya Macrophylla Variegata. And another example of one I recently propagated not so long ago. I have the cuttings I just showed you in episode 1. And yeah, she threw out this huge, thick tendril. Look how thick this tendril is. And she's currently just going all the way up the window, like just all the way up. But she's putting out these really pretty leaves. And yeah, she just loves this spot. Down here is my Euphorbia lactea, or Euphorbia ghost. She has gotten so tall, and she's putting out all these arms. I think this is such a cool Euphorbia. I remember when these were so hyped, and I feel like they're still a little bit on the rare side. Like, it's not one that you see commonly everywhere, but they definitely have come down in price a little bit, which is good. And then this is my Hoya Australis, no, I lie. Hoya Sunrise. This one has been a pain to grow. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've struggled with this Hoya. She's seemingly starting to really take off for whatever reason. I don't know. But that's the thing with this Hoya. I never know what it wants, and honestly, it's so unpredictable. Like, it goes through phases where it's just happy and growing like crazy, and then it'll go through stages where it looks like it's going to pass away. So yeah, I wouldn't say this is the easiest Hoya to grow, though I hear people say that it is. In my experience, it's been a bit tricky, but nonetheless, she seems happy at the moment, so we're just gonna let her live her best life, and yeah, that's that. Right here, this is a super cool one, a new one to the collection. I got this maybe a week or 2 ago, but this is, I will have to find the tag, guys, but look at the flower. She's flowering, and I just want to show that to you really quick because honestly, look at the hairs. How amazing, you guys. Now, these flowers stink. I will say that. It smells absolutely terrible. But they're just so cool. So cool. I got this at the Blue Moon open house specifically because I know John loves cactus and he loves weird cactus. So yeah, I thought that he would really like this one. This bloom is actually, it's pretty heavy if I'm being honest. But to give you a name, it is Stilia Gigantia. I knew that. I knew that. Oh, another cool thing about this one is it's like velvety. The arms are soft. If you've ever seen one of these, you know what I'm talking about, but it's not sharp at all. Though it looks to be, it's not. It's just such a cool cactus. I'm so into it and I'm so excited to grow this. So excited to grow this. Okay, next is a neat Senecio that I got from, yeah, either Lowe's or Home Depot. I didn't really think that this was gonna be something that I, was super excited about or anything. I just thought, oh wow, it's like soft and kind of cool and different. But turns out I'm actually wildly interested in this plant. And I've really been enjoying having it around. This is Senecio Mini Mammoth. And it loves to chase the light. I'm constantly having to rotate it around because it's just always trying to chase the light. And I actually kind of love that it's starting to trail. I didn't know that that's what this was going to do. I thought it was just going to continue to grow upright. But no, it's really interesting. If you guys see these around, it's super soft and I love the silver color. She's just so pretty. And if I'd have known that it was going to be like a trailing thing, I would have put it in a different pot, if I'm being honest. And I still may do that because I think this would be absolutely beautiful, like hanging, Next to it is my beloved red rip Solace. If you guys have been around, I have talked your ear off about this plant over and over and over again. I don't know, you guys, there's just something about Rip Solace, and I got this one as like just a couple little sprigs in the pot. So to see it really like taking shape and starting to put out these crazy huge arms, it's like wild. The one at the greenhouse is massive, and I never thought I would see the day where this would be even remotely close to that. But yeah, it's starting to give me some of those really big paddles, which is also exciting. And I did just recently propagate this. So yeah, I mean, I think I took like 3 of these off. So you can imagine how wild it was before I even cut it. But no, there's just something about it. I just think it's really beautiful. I love Rip Solace. It's an easy to care for, really fun plant to grow. Down here is the Peen Cactus. I don't even want to say it because I don't want to get in trouble, but it's starting to put out a separate shoot, which is so cute. This is actually the second time this plant has done that. The first time it had scale, and you can kind of see the marks on the main cactus where the scale had, affected it. But I treated it and I took off the little piece that it had put out because I tried to propagate it, honestly. I was like, well, I'll just separate it and kind of see how that goes. But it didn't go so well, and the little piece actually didn't make it. So we're just going to leave this one alone and let it do its thing. But yeah, she's just kind of hanging out, hiding behind the Rip Solace. And then over here is my Hoya Matild, just my regular Hoya Matild. And again, this is another one that I love. Pretty much everything in this window is a plant that I really, really love. But what's cool about her is I've propagated her numerous times. It's relatively easy to propagate. The hardest part is if you have close or short internodal spacings, it's kind of hard to get it in the moss to propagate. But yeah, nonetheless, this is giving me some amazing peduncles, and they're kind of everywhere, if I'm being honest. And this is one that's just always happy. Like, she's just always growing. It's another one I have in semi-hydro though that I don't want to keep in semi-hydro, but she does really like it in here, so it's kind of hard to, I don't know, guys. I've just been taking cuttings here and there, and I would love to actually just have one growing in soil. I'm really trying to be done with semi-hydro. I just feel like it dries out too quickly, honestly. But yeah, that's her. I'm excited for her to bloom. It looks like it's going to happen sooner than later, and you can see she's kind of starting to trail up the window, and I like how she sort of trails down. Here's another peduncle. So yeah, exciting. I feel like this is one too where when it's stagnant and it stops growing, I just propagate it and it comes back. It comes back with a vengeance. So if you find that your Hoya Matild isn't giving you new leaves, propagate it. Next to that is Hoya Carnosa Freckles. I think I showed this one recently too in a favorites video, and what's interesting about this one is it almost looks like two completely different plants in the pot. So you have this one side here that's really, really splashy and beautiful and just like, oh my gosh, look at that. And this, I'm lucky because this is the side that's just growing in like crazy. She's thrown this huge tendril. And then you have this side here, which is just like really nothing going on. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take, once this kind of all grows in, I'm gonna take a few cuts and I'm gonna try to start a pot of just this because, oh my gosh, I think I hit the jackpot. Like, this is so beautiful. But that's her, another crystal. Crystals everywhere. And then I have this weirdo, which honestly, I like him, I do, but I'm not sure what exactly I want to do with this. It's probably going to wind up outside because it's just starting to kind of take over this window, which is a good thing. You know, that means it likes it here, but I don't know. I'm not crazy about it like covering the window, and I know John's not crazy about that either. But this is a Euphoria xylophalloides. So he gets these little leaves. He's cool, but I just think I want him somewhere else. That's the only thing. I just want him somewhere else. I have another plant I'll show you guys in a bit where I feel the same way. I like it. I don't know. I want it somewhere else. And then we have an open space here. So I don't remember what I had there, but apparently I moved it. And so, yay, an open space. And then next to that, if you guys have been around even for 5 minutes, you know this is one of my favorite plants of all time. And that is my Solace, my mistletoe cactus. It's not even easy to see it because it's kind of covered in this spot, but look how much she's grown, you guys. She's just huge. She is literally growing almost to the floor. And I did take some cuts like not that long ago, so it's not like I haven't cut this plant. It just grows like crazy. And I just love her. I think she looks so beautiful and wispy and delicate, and I don't know. She's just one of my favorites. What can I say? And then moving into this little corner here, I'll kind of give you guys a little shot of what we're going to get into, but this is kind of on the right side of the window. The TV is there. But yeah, so this is Euphoria Triona. This is what she's looking like recently, like a monster. Another one that honestly I could probably put out in the pergola because I have made some space out there recently, so I think she would really like it out there, and that would kind of free up a little bit of space in here. But she is super cool. I would like to see her, you know, like when she gets 5-6 feet tall. I think that would be so cool. But yeah, she's definitely putting out growth like crazy. She's happy. Yeah, that's her. And then this is my Antherum Variegated Hookery. Her newest leaf. Absolutely stunning. She definitely needs a dusting, for sure. but this is a super easy Anthurium to grow, you guys. It's a self-heading Anthurium. She actually needs a little bit of a rotation. She needs a little bit of her leaves trimmed. I've had her in this pot for a long time, and that's something that's nice about this one is I don't find that you really need to repot it like as frequently as I've had to repot some of my other like velvet leaves. And anyway, I love the boho planter, and I just love this self-heading, you know, pattern. Her leaves are beautiful. Her variegation is beautiful. And she's a big girl. What can I say? This is my beloved Florida Beauty, which I recently propagated. We talked about that in episode 1. This is actually a secondary vine that she is working on, which is part of the reason why I propagated her from the beginning, because I felt like she's just really like leggy and all over the place. So I would like to take those propagations and put them all back into the pot to kind of give me like a nice thick full Florida Beauty. But she has some of the best variegation in any Florida Beauty that I've ever seen, and it really took a lot of guts to propagate her because I am afraid that she is going to revert. It has taken quite some time for this growth point to come back, but I feel like we're about to find out what's up. We're about to find out. So yeah, I also need to fasten this a little bit better, but once those cuttings are ready, I plan on uppotting her a little bit, which will help, because right now she's just in that little terracotta, so that'll help kind of stabilize everything. And then I may try to fix her to the wall because I do really like her here, and she seems to really like her here, or like it here. And then next to that is my huge, let me see if I can like, I know we're kind of backlit, so it makes it kind of hard to see, but this is my giant Dock Block Michelle. And I am just still so tickled to have this plant. I still can't believe that I have, look at that sticky inflow, guys. Would you believe that I don't have any pollen currently to pollinate with, which is so sad because I cannot wait to make her a parent. But this is her most recent leaf. It did come out a bit tattered, which is kind of weird because I did uppot her. There's really no reason for that, so I'm not sure what exactly happened there. But yeah, I still can't believe I have her. She's so beautiful. You can kind of get an idea of how big she is. And I look at her every single day. Every day I look at her. She's a big girl. She needs a dusting. She needs a little wipe down, but yeah, she's looking good. And then back here is my little Skindapsis, argaras. I recently uppotted her and she's doing great. It's a no drainage like glass vessel, and I believe I just showed her in my favorites video from May because she's just so beautiful and she's really taken to the spot, and she's really also loving her uppot, which is great. And then this is my Lux, you guys. There's a new leaf coming right here, which I'm a little scared to mess with, but it's looking good anyway. But these two leaves I'm gonna have to cut. I need to figure out the right spot for this plant because it doesn't seem to be happy the last couple places I've put it. It did put out its new leaf for me in this spot, so maybe we're in a good place now, but you can see I think I have overwatered her a couple times is what happened there. And then actually Samp, the boxer, ate this leaf here. So that's what happened to that one, which is sad because this would have probably been fine and it would have been in like the 2-leaf club, but this is what he does sometimes, you know? This is what he does. So that's my Lux in its current state, which is a bit sad, but I feel like she's gonna be fine. I need to get rid of this leaf. See? I don't know. And then over here is another one of those Titan's fingers. This one is actually growing in, what are you growing in? You're growing in no drainage. And it's just out of control. it's out of control. I'm actually looking to rehome this one. So I forgot to bring it to the last plant swap, but I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do like a little purge in my plant group, just take photos of everything and list her. But she's looking so good. She is so pretty. I do think this is such a beautiful Anthurium, but I definitely don't need to. So yeah, that's her. And then over here, back here, is my Monstera Burlmarks Flame, which another one that I need to kind of reset because she gave me her first fenestration and then she just went back to no fenestrations. And I think it's definitely probably a lighting thing, and she needs to be like on a proper pole, like a taller pole. I need to reset this. I definitely need to reset this. I may even propagate it and just see what happens, but that's that. And then back here is my Veitchii, guys, my King Anthurium, which hasn't done anything for me in months, but it has popped out, which is exciting. So I probably need to check out the roots here, and it may have outgrown this pot is the issue. So it's one that I need to look into, but that was its most recent leaf. But it's been several months. This is a slower growing Anthurium, so I'm not super concerned, but I do feel like it should have given me something by now. But yeah, that's her. I know it's kind of hard to tell everything apart because it's like a literal jungle over here. And then this is my Selby Variegated crossstock block Michelle, another one that's not looking so great, but we do have a new leaf coming in, which is exciting. And I think what happened here is I just let this one dry out, actually. It recently got an up pot, and so hopefully we're on the mend. I'll be able to cut that leaf once this one comes in and hopefully get some sphagnum down there, and this will be back up and running. And then right here is my Zara. My beautiful Zara that I grew from a tiny 2-leaf seedling that was the ittiest bittiest little seedling. It was actually my first experimentation with a very small seedling. This is her most recent leaf. It is just barely hardened off, and I just love her. I just love her. She is so pretty, and I would love to see another leaf from her soon. So yeah, that would make my whole day. But I love how elongated her leaf is in comparison to like Michelle. And I don't know, I just think she looks so cute right there. And then that right there is a mother Growlite. This is my first experiment with mother Growlites. I have thoughts. I definitely have thoughts, but I do like how sleek it is, and I do like the warm light that it puts out. This is just one of those silly, like, basic Growlites. I really need to probably replace this with like a Barina bar, and I would probably see better results in this corner because honestly this doesn't throw out a ton of light, but it works, you know, it works. This is, just before we move to the other window, this is the Skindapsis that I just featured in my most recent video, the how-to guide, episode 2, and she lives really like right here. You can kind of see like there's that corner we were just talking about, and she lives on the other side of the TV. So she actually gets the least amount of light of any plant in my house. And nonetheless, she does pretty good. So that's where she lives. And then last but not least, we have this corner here that's in front of a window, and we're gonna get into it. But I like to give you guys the shot so you can kind of get a visual on things as we go along. So we will start right here with my Hoya Carnosa. I think this is, yeah, this is just regular Hoya Carnosa, not black, not super splash. I know things are a little bit backlit. Maybe I can move this Barina light. Is that better? Yes, that is better. So you guys can see her a little bit better, but this is one that we've been through it. Like, we went through some trials and tribulations, but we are on the right side of the fence now, and here is a little peduncle. She has bloomed for me before, and she seems to really like this spot, though I will say she seems to prefer the winter months because the sun is lower in the sky, so she does get more light during that time of the year. But anyways, that's her. And then up here I have just this little Solace, which I have actually taken to the last couple swaps because I was looking to rehome him, but I don't know. Maybe I'll just move him outside and let him do his thing. I do love Solace, you guys. He's like a fuzzy one. Next to that is yet again another Solace, and this is Solace micrantha, another one of my favorites. You can kind of see on this Solace how the petals are flat. They're not round. It's like, unlike my mistletoe cactus where everything is rounded, this guy is very flat. And I just think it looks so elegant, kind of hanging in the window. You can definitely see where the plant, like where it was when I first got it, because you can see like this is definitely older growth and how skinny it gets, but nonetheless, I just think it is so beautiful hanging in this window. Unfortunately, it's overshadowed by this guy here, which this is the other plant that I think I'm going to either move outside or rehome. But this is, oh gosh, I can't even remember the name. I believe it's a Euphoria. And while I like it, it's not my favorite. This is, I'm sorry, this is a Solace string of stars. I'm not sure what the technical name is for it, but it is cool in the sense that it gets leaves, but this thing has just gotten out of control and I honestly don't really have any space for it. So it's one I'm definitely looking to, I don't know, move around, we'll say. Move around, find a new home, something like that. Anyway, that's that one. And then I'm just gonna pull this up if I can. Maybe I can, because I just think it'll be easier for you guys to see. She lives on the sill, but this is our Booby Cactus. And she's putting out a couple of offsets, which is really exciting. She seems to be doing really well in this spot. I moved her not so long ago. The only downside is you can't really see her where she's growing currently. But she is really cool. She is really cool. And I do feel like these have really held their value, honestly. Like, I haven't seen them come down in price at all. So yeah, and I do like how they kind of offset like that. I think it's kind of interesting. But I keep her sort of hidden down here because this is where the dogs like to hang out. And Samson, the boxer, loves this window. And anything I put in the window is subject to his, you can see his demise, like where he's chewed. So yeah, I feel like behind the bench, she's secure there. So that's kind of where she's living now. And then up here, I'll show you this part of it because this is my Filidendrin Splendid, guys. And I am obsessed with how I have her growing. It's definitely not in the traditional way people grow this plant, which is usually up a moss pole. I decided to kind of let her grow along the curtain rod, and I'm really glad because I just think it looks so cool. I actually need to sort of refasten her up here, but she's got a new leaf coming out, so I'm gonna let her do what she's gonna do with that leaf before I mess around with it too much. She's probably thirsty and I do probably need to water over here. But yeah, this one grows like a weed for me, honestly. Look how beautiful these leaves are. She's so gorgeous. It's really difficult for me to actually show her to you guys because I can't move her, you know? And I love her so much, but it's really difficult for me to even share her with you because she's everywhere. Anyway, let's move to the other side. That's kind of another view of her. And she grows from right here, actually. Like, that's one of her leaves. if you hear a bunch of noise in the background, we're getting a new dryer. So John is taking out the other one, I guess. This is my pot of Hoya Wolver Greaves. Again, it's going to be kind of hard to see because it's backlit, but this is one that I've just been experimenting with. I took cuts of like the more silver portions of my original Wolver Greaves, and I was trying to get like a nice full pot of, you know, amazing silver variegation, and I don't know. I don't think it's really working out in the way that I had hoped, but either way, I have another one coming and I can always rehome this one. This is my Easter cactus. I love these disco ball planters so much. I think they are just so cute and whimsical. And I like to put like understated plants in them because the pot is so jazzy. I just think like putting just a little basic plant in it, I don't know. That's where it's at for me. She's actually grown a ton over the last couple months, if I'm being honest. And I've never actually had her bloom for me. She bloomed when I bought her, she was in bloom, which was, oh, I didn't even date it, did I? Of course I didn't. I think it's been, not this past Easter, but the Easter before, I believe, is when I picked her up. So she's a little bit slower to grow than, like, say, my Christmas cactus is, but I do love her the most of all of them. And then that is more of the Splendid. Like, you can just see how, I do have her on, like, a proper pole. And it's one of the few plants that I do have on, like, a proper pole. And then if we come down here, this is another one of my Anthuriums. It's going to be hard to show you. Let me turn the light so we're not backlit. See if I can get you a leaf. There you go. It's one of the leaves. She's definitely due for an up pot. She was due like forever ago, if I'm being honest. And I feel kind of guilty that I haven't done that, which is why she looks the way that she looks. But anyways, this is my Dark Ace F2 Cross Black Beauty. It's on my to-do list. You can see like this is such a tiny pot and I definitely need to do something about it. It's also bone dry, so I definitely need to water this corner. And then this is my baby, guys. I love her so much. This was one of my first Anthuriums. This is my Crystal Red Michelle Cross Ace Crystal Red. She just gave me babies, and now she's giving me babies again. And I don't remember what I bred her with. That is so frustrating. No, I do. I'm sorry. I bred her with Doc Block Michelle. So this should be a very interesting combination. I'm very excited to see what these seedlings look like, and yeah, I just think this is such a stunner. It's kind of unfortunate. This is her most recent leaf, and it's just kind of like ripped. But she's been through it. She's put out 2 rounds of infructescence, so in all honesty, I'm gonna give her a break before breeding her again, and hopefully kind of nurture her a little bit back to life. She's got some browning and things like that, so I don't want to push my luck, you know? And then down here is my Rad Lux, which is just growing out of control. Again, it's kind of hard to show you how big she is, but she's a big girl. She's also got some random alocasia growing in there. It looks like a new leaf coming right there, which is exciting. And this is such an understated Anthurium. It's a common one, like, I don't know, everybody has it, but I just feel like it's one of the most beautiful. I don't know, like, I don't ever see myself doing away with this one, if I'm being honest. I just think she's so gorgeous. Look at that texture. 10 out of 10. Hey, Sam, what are you doing? See, this is where he likes to hang out. Can you say hi? Can you say hi? Boop. Can you give a boop? All right, down here is just another like Christmas cactus. I have a little Hoya Matild back there. This is a offset from that Bessier that we saw earlier. SKG Crystal Silver Cross Bessier. And so I'm looking to rehome her. I've brought her to the past couple plant swaps and nobody's taken her home. I don't know why. She's so cute. And then right here is my Philodendron Florida Green. Another one that I feel like is super understated and like such a stunning philodendron. It's one of my favorites. The entire Florida series is like 10 out of 10 for me. I love this leaf shape. And this has just been a few years of like work in the making, you know, like I chop her, I prop her, and then I stick them back in the pot because I'm looking to get like a nice full compact bush, if you will. So it just takes time to do that. And I do have, you can see where she's just growing up and around. And that's what I let them do. Like I just let them, I love to see philodendron growing as they would like in the wild, on a tree. I don't like anything superposed. And this is just on like a cocoa pole, you know, like nothing special. And then here is my Esqueleto, Monstera Esqueleto. Another one I love so much, but let me try to get more light on this subject. Let's see. Can we get more light? How's that? Is that better, guys? Yeah, that's better. Another one that I love so much, but is one that I like hardly can ever show you because she's just here. You know what I mean? This is where she lives and that's it. But yeah, she reached the top of the pole, and as you can see, once she reached the top of the pole, there was really no more leaves after that. And that's just the way that this plant is. She has some massive leaves here too. Like, look at that. Oh my gosh. Such a gorgeous plant. I love it. Love it. Look at that, you guys. Like, insane, right? Insane. But it's one that has to be on the pole at all times. Once it's off the moss pole, it starts to throw runners, as you can see, which is exactly what it did, which is why I have that one random cutting that you saw in episode 1. I'm trying to get that to root. We'll see what happens. But yeah, honestly, if this just stayed just like that, I wouldn't be mad. Like, you know, I wouldn't be mad. I do need to kind of like figure this corner out though, because it's starting to get a little bit, it's so lush you can't really differentiate what's what anymore. And so I do kind of need to figure that out. And then up there is my sad Micans. This is one that I have such a hard time growing, honestly. Like, it's just not an easy philo for me to grow. It's okay in there, but I don't know, guys. It's sad. I used to have a beautiful one and I miss it. And those are the only cuttings that I have remaining of it, and they just look like trash. And then down here is another one that I struggle with so much. This is my Forgetii. That unfortunately looks like it got infested with spider mites at one point. And I just find this to be a challenging Antherum to grow. I've heard other people say that about it as well. It's one that I'm kind of thinking about just starting over from scratch, just cutting it down to the chunk, putting it outside and seeing what happens, because it just doesn't look good. It just doesn't look good. And then up here is my Billy. And this is how I like to grow her, just wild and free and doing her thing. Super low maintenance plant. As you can see, it's growing in minimal lighting. Yeah, so I think she looks really pretty from up there. Just kind of cascading over, chasing the light. And then this is the hutch, guys. This was my very first cabinet. This is the very first cabinet that I ever got. Just a traditional, what do you call it, China hutch. And so nowadays, it's just, this is a Growlite. It's actually, you know, you just touch it and it turns on and off. And we don't have to go through this little by little, because honestly, guys, this is just cuttings. Like, this is all just cuttings of everything that you've already seen. And this is pretty much where I store everything that's going to go to the plant swaps. I do host monthly plant swaps. And so, hi guys. things. So, yeah, this is just where I store everything. So we have some Bertoniae, we have Macrophylla, we have some Carrii, just miscellaneous things, honestly. We don't have to go through this. There's no fan in here, and everything seems to do all right, honestly. There was fans in here back when it was like an actual, my grow cabinet, but I took them and I used them in a different cabinet. So there's actually no air movement in here, and the plants seem to do all right. But let me back up so you guys can kind of see. That's just what it looks like. That's that corner there. Coming over here, this is where John's like musical equipment is. He is a drummer and a guitarist and a piano player and all the things, but I do have a few plants in here. So this is, he's about to come inside, so it's gonna get noisy, but this is my, what do you call this? Raven ZZ. And I've had this. Do you want to say hi to YouTube?
Sure. Hello, YouTube.
I just showed them your drums and such.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, this guy's a super slow grower, like super slow. Probably the scenario that I have it in is not the best, if I'm being honest. So, I have thought about putting this into a different pot. It's just like one of those plants that I never really think about, honestly, until I'm talking about it. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I should absolutely do something with that. So yeah, and I just have it in this cool Sing Out Loud concert cup and some pon, my homemade pon, which if ever you're interested, you guys, I do have a video on my homemade semi-hydro. Do not wait around for Lechuza Pond to restock their website. It is totally unnecessary to do so. You can absolutely make your own pond. And if ever you're curious, I do have all the ingredients listed in the description box of every video. So if ever you want to know what you need to pick up, you can check that out. And then this is my golden pothos. Just a golden pothos in this pretty crystal, like, glass vessel. And yeah, she just lives up here. She loves this spot. Very minimal attention do I give any of these plants on this, over here, we'll say. But yeah, she looks good. She looks good. She's got a little brown leaf here. A little trimming we could do, but overall, she's looking great. And then right here is just some Anthurium. These are offsets of one of my larger Anthuriums, and I am currently looking to rehome them at the plant swaps. I brought them the last couple swaps, and I know they looked a little rough because these are like, the donor leaves, but they all have new leaves coming, and I am hoping this next month we see a little bit of movement. I'm hoping to not have to hang on to these guys because, again, it's just more to care for, and I already have one of these. You saw it in the Milsbo tall. Okay, guys, this is the last spot. So this is the spare room. This is actually, if you've been around, we filmed in this room a few times. But the only time I film in here is like when the whole family's home and I just need some like quiet. Honestly, today could have probably been one of those moments where that would have worked in my favor, but how can we do a houseplant tour if we're stuck in here? So, I'm sorry for all the noise, guys. I hope when I watch this back, it's not too distracting. But your girl needs a dryer. Like our dryer broke a couple weeks ago and I've been air drying, and you guys, I need a dryer. So bear with me this week on the noise. I'm sorry. It's worth it though. It's so worth it. Anyway, this guy we just showed in a recent video. This is my marble pothos. I could not remember the name of it to save my life, just back when I was showing you the green vine that came from this. But this is marble pothos, and I love her in this picture, and she just kind of cascades over down the windowsill. She's doing her thing and she's looking great. And then down here is just some cuttings I took of that Croniana. that honestly, they went through it and it looks like we're starting to come around now. So I just kind of, any time a plant is either restarting or struggling or has pests or whatever, I throw it in this room. I'm not gonna lie. This is like where the bad kids go. So I think it's safe to say that I could pull her out and I could probably honestly rehome her. But yeah, my little dog is probably trying to find a way out. Let me see if we can distract him. He likes to escape from time to time. He better not. He better not. This is just the Chia Pence. You guys saw this in episode 1. I went ahead and cut it down to nothing, as you can see. So we're just restarting this over from scratch. All the cuttings are currently propagating. So that's something that's already changed in the time that we filmed part 1, guys. I'm always moving things, changing things, etc., which is why it's important to do these kind of, you know, at least once a year. I could probably do it twice a year. Let me know if you guys would be into that, if you would want me to do this like a couple times a year versus just the one time a year. But this is Syngonium Winlandii, and I love her so much. This is one of my favorite Syngoniums. I'm not a huge Syngonium person, but this is one I really, really love. She needs a little bit of tidying, and she looks to be a little bit thirsty, so we will water her. But yeah, I actually would like to find her a spot out in the like main part of the house because I just think she's so pretty. I also could probably stand to propagate her a little bit, and because she's growing in semi-hydro. Again, I'm trying to get everything out of semi-hydro because it's just, I don't know. It's not my favorite, guys. It's not my favorite. It dries out a little too quickly for me personally, but yeah, that's it for this room. And then I thought I would show you briefly the rock cabinet because I had some of you interested in the crystal cabinet. So let's go take a peek at the crystal cabinet. If you do not care about crystals and that is not your thing, then you can exit now, and I will hopefully see you in part 3. We're going to be doing the pergola and all of the outside plants, you guys. That's not one you're going to want to miss because that's where all of my big, big, big plants are. So if you're not sticking around for crystals, I'll see you in part 3. Otherwise, let's go check out some crystals. Okay, guys, this is the, as requested, the crystal cabinet. And this is something that John and I started like week 1 of our relationship, to be honest, like where we were both into rocks, and this has just been an accumulation of things over the past like 4 years. So there's a lot to look at in here, but we can go over a couple of like my favorites, and yeah, then we would have to go through everything, but let me actually turn. This is an Ikea cabinet. I think this is a Rudsta, if I can even get this on with my nails. Yes, I think it is a Rudsta. I'm not 100% though. It's been a long time, but this was the first, actually this was the first Ikea cabinet that we ever got. So one of my favorite pieces in here is this giant moonstone. I think this is one of the first pieces, like large pieces that he actually picked up, and it is just like so beautiful. Words cannot explain how much I love this specific moonstone. We have 2 of them. I think the other one is in the other crystal cabinet, but both of them are relatively about the same size. And then I also love this little piece of moonstone here. That's a flash. And then it has that really pretty black, you know, I think that's tourmaline, I'm pretty sure. Stripe. This is one of John's favorite pieces. This is green tourmaline. That's one of his very favorites. And then I also really love this. This is a green opal. We got this out in Arizona, I believe in 2024, our trip to Arizona. I think that's where that one's from. And like he could go through and tell you what everything is in here, but I struggle a little bit with that. This is pyrite and I believe tourmaline, another one of my favorites. Super cool. Just such a cool piece. We like to go rock shopping, and it's not like we go and we're like looking for a specific stone usually. It's just kind of like whatever, I don't know, whatever strikes our fancy. You know what I mean? Like the piece has to speak to you. And then another one of my all-time favorites is this beautiful labradite. I think labradite and moonstone are honestly my two favorite stones of all time, but he found this specific specimen and it's purely just like, it's just pure magic, honestly. It doesn't matter what way you look at it. There's just that beautiful flash. And then we have some blue calcite. I don't remember what this one is. You guys are probably screaming. Those of you into rocks, you're probably screaming at the camera like, that's what it is. This is a really beautiful piece of copper that we found in Arizona. It is a copper something or other. And then down here we have some kyanite. Pretty sure that's kyanite. Just like a nice druzy. All of our fluorite, well, not all of it, but some of it. And then, yeah, just like bits and bobs that we've collected from different places. And then down here is this giant piece of citrine that we got from a local, it's like a local seller actually. But it's like pretty raw, you know what I mean? Like there's still like dirt and I don't know, it's just like very much in its raw form. But yeah, that is the rock cabinet. You see them all the time, like when we're going through the houseplant tour, we have crystals just kind of scattered throughout, but this is moldavite right there. What's your favorite stone in here, babe?
My favorite stone.
Excuse me. This is a piece we got from Earthbound on our 4th anniversary. We got this, I love her. Yeah, what's your favorite stone in this cabinet?
The green fluorite.
Okay, the green fluorite.
This one and this one down here.
Those are your favorites? I thought the green tourmaline was.
It is for the non-glowy ones. Is the
Okay.
green tourmaline.
See?
Where's the green tourmaline?
What is this? What's this one?
That's a mixture of malachite,
Malachite
and kyanite.
and
No, no, malachite and
chrysocolla?
no, it's. I'll think of it.
As soon as I turn the camera off, he'll be like, ah, that's it. I made this sign with my Cricut. And these are some very old antique, what do you call this?
Scrimshaw.
Scrimshaw. That he got back when he used to like flip houses. There was a guy that had like a hoarder house, and he had like all these old coins and just like artwork and these pieces of scrimshaw, which is very, like, you can't do that nowadays, you know? But yeah, that's that. And there's that labradite again. Oh, she's so gorgeous. I do love this copper piece too so much. And yeah, that's the cabinet, guys. I know like some of you were asking about it. Oh, there's the other piece right there. It's really detailed, honestly. It's very unfortunate how they did this. And I, you know, I don't know, I'm scared. Is it all gonna come tumbling down? All right, am I making you guys nervous? Okay, we got it. So, you know, it's really unfortunate how they did this, but the detail is like impeccable. It's impeccable. It's sad. Sad. But yeah, I know you guys have been asking about that, so that's just like a quick little, tour of the cabinet. Okay guys, that is it for today. That's gonna wrap up part 2. Hopefully the background noise wasn't too distracting. Again, I'm sorry, but we're getting a dryer, baby. We are getting a dryer, and there's nothing more exciting than that. So part 3 will be, instead of dryer background noise, it'll be planes, because we live relatively close to an airport, and every time I film out there, there is always airplanes. So just to pre-warn you. But yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out today. I will see you very soon in the next one.